Buttons on mute? Yeah, they are.
Not anymore. Not anymore. Not anymore. The buttons are not on mute.
And welcome to the Brad and Squeeze Show.
We will be singing all our answers and content today.
Yep.
This
will be the singing show.
Or at least dragging out a drawl that sounds like a song. Like, squeeze.
It's the swing. Oh, I almost said it's a swinging show.
It is not. We don't swing.
No.
It's a different show.
Yeah. No. Yesterday,
the only female in the room.
Yeah,
Hard no.
yesterday, somebody called and said that somebody was working at a bed and breakfast, and then I said, "Did you just say a bordello?" Right? What was that?
Yeah, you were hearing.
Yeah, I was hearing things.
Wishful thinking, Brad.
Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah.
A bordello.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Instead of a bed and breakfast,
Right.
you went from so delightful.
Well, these are two people on the radio who did not get arrested yesterday, right?
Well done.
Yes,
So
well
proud
done,
of you.
Squeeze.
Yeah.
Well done for not getting arrested yesterday.
I made it another day.
You made it another day.
Yep.
Yes.
Barely though.
Barely.
But made it.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever been arrested? I know you have been.
I have.
You have been handcuffed.
Yeah.
Right. Have you been brought down to the police station?
Yeah.
Have you been Did you sit in jail?
No.
No. You were released.
Yes, I was released.
You were released.
Yes. Want to know what for?
Tell me what for, pray tell.
The last time it was when.
Because you were black. You're gonna say, right?
That's the main part.
I know. I'm sure it is. I could already. I already know the story, right?
I know this story.
You
as
know
well.
the story. You
Never
know.
heard it, but I know it.
You know that story
Yeah.
too, huh?
You haven't heard it, but you know it, right?
Yeah, I know the story. The age-old classic. It's passed down from
A
generation
generation.
to generation.
It's been going on for like 200, 300 years
Yeah,
already, right?
Yeah.
You know, but the last time I got arrested was because a very good friend of mine told me not to blow. It was on 14th Street.
Yes, you made
Okay.
you made an illegal U-turn.
And I made an illegal U-turn.
You made an illegal U-turn. You
I
broke
got
the
pulled
law.
over by the cops, so I called my attorney,
Yes, me.
who just happened to be a friend of mine.
Right. So
Always
Got
picks
it.
up.
And the cop wanted me to blow.
into the machine.
And I
So
said,
Squeeze
and I
I
called.
did a machine.
no, I said in my
there.
Jamaican terminology, bad man don't blow. Okay. So he said, bad man goes to jail.
I remember that.
You remember
I
that?
do remember that. And you called me, and you're like, "Should I blow?" I'm like, no.
That's a terrible
No,
idea.
it's a terrible idea.
You know
do
what
not
you've done
offer.
today?
Do not offer that to the police officers.
Oh, man.
Yes.
And ladies and gentlemen,
But by the way, this is in all seriousness. These are serious things. When you get pulled over for a DUI, I spoke to somebody yesterday. I couldn't believe it. It's just a matter of like who your attorneys are. So I spoke to this person yesterday, and I really can't give much more detail in this, but I spoke to this person yesterday, and they said,
Yeah.
one of my employees got pulled over somewhere in the state of New York for DUI.
right.
He's been sitting in jail now for 2 weeks. He's out of status. He's from El Salvador. They had TPS for El Salvador like they had for Haiti.
Right.
It got stopped a few years ago, but he's been living here for 20 years. He has a social. His wife is because he's just going to be handed over to immigration. And this is what the employer says, because the employer was concerned his employee wasn't coming to work for the last 2
Right.
weeks. And then I went down to the jailhouse, and I spoke to the sergeant at the jailhouse, and the sergeant says, no, you shouldn't post bail because he's just going to be picked up by immigration. And I said, oh, my God, you're listening to like Tweedledee and Tweedledum over here. I said, has he ever been arrested before? No. So guess what? He's going to pay 2 bails. He's going to pay a bail for the DUI.
Right.
And then he's going to pay a second bail for immigration.
Right.
He's only mandatory detention in immigration if he has a conviction already that makes him deportable, not in arrest that may or may not make him deportable. So I said you're listening to Tweedledee, the lawyer, and Tweedledum, the sergeant. I said I'm flabbergasted about all of this.
So the sergeant was giving him wrong information?
both.
Was
They
They
giving-
both were.
Or
They
giving
were
wrong
both.
information.
Oh my
Right.
God, that's terrifying.
Yeah,
The guy
it's
sat in jail for
terrifying.
2 weeks.
So they're supposed to come in today. He's eligible. I can't really say much more than that, but it's just, the advice that you get, even on what you would think, excuse me, it's that time of year, Squeeze, where the weather changes and you get a little tickle.
Oh, boy. Dude, I'm letting you know, if you get sick, I'm out of here. I'm just letting you know that.
You are running for the hills.
One of us has got to be out of here.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know.
So Any event.
Don't pull a Kim on us.
I was gonna say, I was sprayed out of the room yesterday.
Not fast enough, apparently.
Yeah, apparently not. I got sick anyway. So, but the point is that
have a good attorney in your phone at all times.
It's not even have a good attorney. It's have a knowledgeable attorney. Have an attorney who knows what they're doing. And it's so hard these days. I am telling you, even when, I think of myself as a pretty smart guy, Squeeze.
Yeah.
Right?
I think you are.
Right. Not everyone.
As an attorney.
Not everyone thinks I'm a smart guy, but I think I am. As an attorney, I am. Right. Right. So, thank you for thank you for slap.
You're a smart attorney.
You're a smart attorney.
You're
Yeah.
a smart attorney.
Squeeze is like, listen. Last night we were sitting over drinks and I was telling you what to do, and nobody listens to Squeeze.
Nobody listens to me.
Right. Right.
Nobody listens.
Right,
to me.
and that had nothing to do with law or business. It was just a personal issue.
Yep.
Right. So,
some 90-year-old lady tried to pick up Brad.
no.
Did you go with her?
What?
Did you go with her?
No.
Did you let yourself be picked up?
She wasn't 90.
Nah, she was.
She wasn't 90. She was probably in her late 50s, probably.
In
she's
New
in
York,
her
they
60s.
look
90, that
really
sounds 90 to
good.
me.
She was in her 60s.
Maybe her 60s then? I don't know. I didn't really talk.
She was just butting her nose into
Yeah.
what did not concern her.
Exactly. So she was overhearing David and I's conversation, and she just sitting at the next bar stool and decided to join our
She thought she
conversation.
could chime in.
And everything she said is, I said, you're absolutely wrong. and why are you?
And Brad was brutal about it.
Right.
You know, Brad, when he's saying something
Right.
with passion.
Right. And I'm like, not only are you wrong, but why am I even having this conversation with you? That was basically So any event, the point is we got off track here.
Yeah, the point is about the attorney.
About the attorney. Okay? You can go to even a doctor. I was thinking about this after I got off the phone. Mm-hmm. And the doctor says, all right, he looks like he has a nice office. The doctor seems to have some, assistants or nurses or whatever it is there. And the doctor says, go take this, go take that. And you're like, okay, because it seems like the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And that's what happened here. I guess the guy said, well, I went to the attorney's office. He had a nice office, and he seemed to know what he was talking about. And then I spoke to the sergeant. He was at the big desk with the big hat, and he seemed to know what he was talking about. So everyone seemed to know what they're talking
He was
about.
a big idiot, too.
Right. So the point of the matter is sometimes even smart. I mean, this guy's a big businessman. Even smart people get duped.
That is true.
So it's so important that if you're listening to this show, or you have listened to this show in the past, or you have a friend who may need an issue resolved, to make sure that if you have listened to this show for not a week, not a month, not a year, we've been doing this for 20 years already.
20 solid years.
Mm-hmm. And I don't really recall many, if any, telephone calls, if any, over the last 20 years where someone called up and said, Brad, you're wrong. I don't remember. I'm not saying I'm always right. Just saying I don't remember being told I'm wrong.
I can only vouch for that for the last 2 months.
Correct.
But that's definitely correct for the last 2 months.
So when I spoke to this guy, I said, listen. He goes, well, why are you saying something different? I said, I can't tell you why I'm saying something different. All I can tell you is what the law says. The law says he's eligible to post bail for the DUI. He does not have a deportable offense that makes him mandatory detention. As a result, he can post, and by the way, there are deportable offenses that are still not mandatory detention. I didn't even have to get into the specifics. But he doesn't have a conviction that makes him mandatory detention. So he's eligible to post bail for immigration too. Why is he sitting there when he's got a wife and kids at home? And by the way, if his criminal case is resolved positively for him, and this is his first, offense, he would be eligible for something called cancellation or removal. He would get his green card. Not 100%, but it's a good chance he can get his green card in deportation if he proves he was here for 10 years. And he proves he's a person of good moral character, and he can prove extreme and unusual hardship to his children who are born here, who he lives with and takes care of and goes to work to put food on the table for them. So, times are bad. Times are bad right now, Squeeze.
Times are bad.
We don't need sergeants and other professionals giving bad advice in bad times.
No, we don't need that.
We don't need it.
Not when you have a good law firm such as
Correct.
Spar Bernstein at 1-800-LawLink.
Correct.
The same number that people are going to call to get their immigration questions answered now.
Correct.
1-800-529-5465. They should call.
They should.
They should reach out to us.
Did you share this on the Brad H. Bernstein profile page?
I sure did.
You did, Kim.
I sure did.
Squeeze.
Yes.
Did you share this on all the David Squeeze, Annakie, Link Up Radio, Jam Rock Magazine,
Yep.
Immigration Group pages?
Yep. And still share it.
Strong Manly Guy.
Yes.
Have you asked the entire Brad squad and the entire Team Squeeze to share on their friends and families' pages?
Everybody, please share.
I'm asking Strong Manly Guy if he has done this yet.
It has been done.
It has been done.
Not this morning. but
Not
it's
this
happening right
morning.
now.
Okay, but it will happen now. Strong Manly Guy.
Yeah.
Can you put a big note
Yeah.
right in front of your microphone
Yeah.
that says share, share, share?
We do that every day, at least twice.
Okay, I just would like the
Every
note so
show.
you remember.
It's never forgotten.
It is not forgotten.
Yeah.
Squeeze. How many people do you believe have shared so far?
According to my page, 3.
3 people.
Only 3 people love us.
Kim, how many people have shared our page so far?
Well, let's take a look.
Brad, before you ask, I did hit the record button, and we are taping the show.
We are taping the show.
I did my job.
You did your job.
That was such
Humanly
a complex
possible.
job.
It is a complex
We
job.
have 4 shares. Surely
That
we
is
can do
it.
better.
Yeah, but one more than...
I'm gonna tell you
Surely we
something.
can do
Lucky
better.
Let me ask you a question, Dan. What do you think would be a harder thing to do? To point the camera and press a button, which is 2 steps, or go to your phone and press a share button, which is 1 step? Who has, Dan, the harder job? The Brad Squad and Team Squeeze, who has to press 1 button to share, or Spielberg Jr., who has to point the camera at us and then press the button? Who has the harder job?
Can I buy a vowel?
I would be a good game show host, wouldn't I?
Yeah, you would. The LawLink, that's still a great game show.
Yes, yes.
My job is infinitely harder than sharing this page. Please share, guys.
All right, Squeeze.
I'm only up to 9 shares. Can you imagine? We have thousands of people, according to Zuckerberg, that we have reached.
Yes.
And we have only had 9 shares. People are listening to us on 93.5 FM, and I'm quite sure that they have their Facebook page, which is David Squeeze Annakie, Law Offices of Spar Bernstein, Brad Bernstein. They even have YouTube, Spar Bernstein.
They do.
Why haven't they shared to help hundreds of thousands of people?
You know-
I even did a recording prior to starting the show as to what I do. A lot of people think what I do is done in Jamaica anyway, is fiction. But mostly what we do here is help hundreds of thousands of people every single week.
You help people everywhere. So
Everywhere.
On the radio, you help thousands of people.
Yes.
And when you
So
go
do
down
you.
to Club Fiction, you help them forget their problems.
Yes.
Right? You're a helper no matter where you go.
Absolutely.
That's why people go to clubs, to
Yeah.
let it loose, forget
Let
their
it loose.
problems, have fun.
That's why people was
It's like,
at...
it's like a 12-step program. You can get your credit fixed,
Yes.
then your bio life, and then if all goes to hell,
And
just
then-
come to my club.
And now that your credit's fixed, you can go get bottle service at Squeeze's Club.
Exactly. Wow.
You guys are very
Full
funny.
circle, Squeeze,
Yes.
you're a genius.
And by the way, about 12 or 13 people did share now, up from 4.
I'm up to
Yes.
9.
Okay, so for those who did
gets 'em
share,
going.
that we twisted your arm to share, thank you very much. I really appreciate
You are
it.
kind people.
Kind
Please share our
people.
pages, all right?
Yes. All right, are we ready to do a show now?
We are ready to do a show.
All right, let's speak to John. John,
John, thanks for calling, man. 1-800-529-5465. What is your immigration question for Brad?
Yeah, my question. Good morning.
good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my question. Just tell me. Don't just tell me yes or no. I need a little bit of explanation, but I'm still gonna come to your office anyway. Okay.
I love the way this guy starts his question.
The answer, I'm waiting to get the question.
He's
so
going to get a question like, don't tell me yes or no.
I want to know the whole thing.
He handed some money over to you already. Don't tell me yes or no.
Yes, okay. So what is the question?
Okay. So I have my sister. So I'm trying to help her out. She get married to a U.S. citizen. She from another country,
What country would she be from?
Haiti.
She's from Haiti. Okay. And she got married to an American citizen. And where is she in Haiti now, or is she in the United States of America?
No, she's in the United States of America. She got the green card for 2 years.
Wonderful.
Okay. My question is, her husband is HIV positive. Okay.
Okay.
But her husband is taking the medication.
Okay.
Now, she's thinking about. I mean, is it possible for her to use the husband HIV situation, saying that she was being abused because of the husband is HIV positive, to claim immigration benefits?
Okay. All right. So your question is this. Obviously, her and the husband are not Romeo and Juliet at this moment. Okay, no. They are not even Squeeze and his wife at this moment.
No.
Right. Okay. So you're saying what would be the best way for her to she can proceed? She can figure out, number one, she can figure out how to work it out with her and her spouse. That they live together and it's a good marriage and they work out their differences and they move forward and file a joint application. That's one way. I'm not saying people can work out their differences. Some people can, some people can't. Correct, Squeeze?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay, 100%. Okay. The second thing you can do is if you can't work out your differences, then you got to go it alone. And how you go it alone is one of A, B, or C. A, which is what you hinted at, some sort of abuse case. Now, if she was aware that he had HIV, there's really not a lot of abuse. She went in knowing it, and she accepted the risks of being with somebody with HIV. On the other hand, if she marries this man, and he either contracts. Yeah, I'm so used to saying contract. Contracts HIV during the marriage, or he hid the fact that he was HIV before the marriage and potentially could have infected her with HIV, and she then subsequently found out, perhaps depending on what her mental state is today, perhaps you can show some sort of emotional abuse by the husband. If he withheld that information from her, has unprotected sex with her, she contracts HIV, and she was unaware of it, now that could be considered emotional abuse as well as physical abuse. The emotional abuse goes really to what she knew and what's her state of mind today, which is what we would figure out when she comes to the office. The last thing there's two other things she can do. She doesn't have to go the HIV route. She can get a divorce from this man. If she and the husband don't get along, and they've come to the point where they will not be living together, or if they are living together, the husband refuses to assist the wife in getting through with her green card because they're living together in a real marriage, then that marriage has irrevocably broken. At that point, you might as well get a divorce. And guess what? When you get a divorce, if you can prove that you lived with the husband for a certain period of time and you divorced, then that gets you the green card too. So you don't need to go through what did I know or what did I not know in terms of his HIV and et cetera, et cetera. Now, let's assume he didn't have HIV, and let's assume this woman, for whatever reason, can't get a divorce or whatever the case may be. The last option, and it's usually the last option for everybody, is it was a real marriage, but you can't send me home for humanitarian reasons. And that could be because, God forbid, I have a disease that can't be treated in my home country, that could get killed, or maybe there is I guess maybe now, depending on how the destruction of Irma pans out, but now maybe I have no home to go to. It got flattened. My house, my entire island of Barbuda is underwater, and I don't know when it will be dry. I don't know. Okay, so you have all of those. I don't know what's going on with Haiti with the hurricane. I haven't heard much. I think the hurricane may have tipped Haiti, perhaps, but I didn't hear that it made a direct hit on Haiti. So I don't know.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So those would be her options. How is that? Let me ask you a question, John. How is that for an answer instead of yes and no?
Yeah, that's perfect. So
Good.
She's gonna come it's perfect.
All right. All right.
The thing is, she's not HIV positive. She's negative.
Okay, good. Thank God.
Yeah. But they're living together. The man is divorcing her, but they don't have they live together for a period of time. But the lease was under the name of the husband only. Her name was not on the lease of the contract for the apartment.
Okay. Well, there's lots of ways to prove. There's lots of ways to prove that you live together as husband and wife. Just the fact that her name is not on a lease doesn't mean that it's impossible to prove you live together as husband and wife. Although certainly if her name was on the lease, that would be some evidence that she was responsible for part of the rent, all of the rent, that it's also some evidence that she may have been living there. But the fact that her name is not on the lease does not necessarily then logically equate to, sorry, you can't prove it's a real marriage. All right, so hold on 1 second. Okay, John?
Hang tough, John.
All right.
All right.
All right, once again, folks, this is obviously the Brad and Squeeze Show where we answer immigration questions. We also, of course, here at the law offices of Spar and Bernstein help in the capacity of criminal defense, personal injury, family law, tax law, and much more. So do save the number each and every day. We're asking everyone on social media to actually share the number, 1-800-529-5465 with all of your friends. That's the same number you'll be calling right now to get your immigration question answered on our radio show, which comes about each and every single weekday at 9 a.m. and 12 noon. And I'm quite sure, is it Nicola will not have a smart asphalt remark today, right? About us doing the show 2 in a row, right?
She can always find something smart to say.
Nicola.
She hasn't said any smart asphalt thing today, right?
Yes, she has. I don't understand her.
Her lingo?
Her
You
lingo.
can't get the patois.
I don't get the patois.
But people do love when you
Yes.
try, Brad.
Yes. Yes. By the way, Nicola will be performing at the Comedy Club in Greenwich Village tomorrow.
Oh, really?
You know that? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she
No,
will
she
be.
won't.
Yeah, she will be.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
I got to go check her out then if that's true.
Yes.
Nicola
it's true.
personally
Kyle
told me
is
she
so
hates
salty
Manhattan.
right now.
Why would I be salty?
He's salty.
Yeah, why would I be salty?
What are you
Well,
guys
he's salty
talking
because
about?
Kyle got knocked off for
Nicola.
Nicola, right? There's just so much,
I thought
sets.
that was the whole point.
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
that how life works?
That's how life works. That's how
You are
life
out.
works. Right.
She is in. You
As
don't
soon
get
as
project
anybody
on her.
picks up your field, you're just automatically fired.
I mean, he's like on the bottom there, right? Right? There's like nobody, like anybody. The next person who becomes a comedian, Kyle has no.
knock him out, yeah.
Kyle has no work anymore.
I
Period.
just got hired. If you're listening.
Anyway, want to say good morning to each and everyone on social media, all the people who have actually, the Brad Squad and the Team Squeeze, thank you all so much for loving us and sharing and understanding that this show is all truly, genuinely about helping people. Whether it's to, with their immigration help or give them a laugh or two here or there or bring them up to date as to current affairs. What's going on with current affairs, Mr. Bernstein, before we get back to the phone lines at 1-800-529-5465?
I have current affairs as of August 30th in front of me. All right, we'll get to current affairs this afternoon.
Where's Irma? Have you seen her?
Irma is somewhere between. I read in the newspaper this morning that several people died in St. Bartholomew.
So she's still an angry woman.
That the 6 sturdiest buildings in St. Martin were destroyed. So they don't even know about all of the back buildings in the back countries of, in the back country, wherever the back country is. I've never been to St. Martin. I've been to the airport there. That's about it. But wherever the well, I've been to the airport there in.
I have.
Right, you fly right over the beach, right?
No.
Right.
I went to St. Martin's. I walked the streets, and women kept coming up to me. And then afterwards, when I was leaving, I told someone, I said, "Why would all the women come in?" They're like, "Yeah, prostitution is legal."
Really?
Yeah. Brad is like, really?
That wasn't my experience at all when I went to St. Martin.
really?
What was I doing?
Yeah. Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting. I ran off the island as soon as I got there. I went to Anguilla.
So would you have Would you not have if you had heard that?
No, I don't partake in bordellas.
Bordellas.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, so
Let's go to Keisha.
let's go to Keisha.
Keisha.
Hi, good morning.
How are you?
Good morning, Keisha.
Good. I have a quick question. I am filing for my husband who is in Jamaica, and he has a visitor's visa that he uses to visit me from time to time. But on one occasion he stayed roughly about 4 months in the U.S. on his vacation. Would that affect him on his interview when it's time for him to go on his interview?
He's back in Jamaica now?
Yes.
Well, it would only affect him if they think that he was working here.
Oh, because he was actually on vacation. He had that much time from work on vacation.
Okay, as long as he wasn't working in the United States, then he didn't overstay his visa. It's fine.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAWLINK. Reach out to us. And what are you talking about?
I'm just seeing what's happening with Irma.
Okay.
Caribbean is struck. Hurricane Irma, the most powerful in history, has roared across the Caribbean. Good morning. We have Megan.
Just Megan.
Megan just came in. Megan, come sit. Good morning. We have not seen Megan in a very long time. It's like we're two ships passing in the night, Megan.
It is.
How are you, Megan?
I'm good.
I have not seen Megan in several weeks.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, and we work together.
I know.
Isn't that weird?
It is.
That is very strange.
I just walked across or came across Megan's office maybe 3 days ago.
For the first time.
For first,
I had
because
no idea. They were back in the
Was on the 31st floor or was it on the 31st?
No. Megan is in the back corner. Yeah, I don't think I've seen Megan this is our first conversation we've had and probably through. How are you, Megan?
Beginning of August?
Yes.
Good.
So Megan runs our matrimonial department, Squeeze. Does she have headphones?
Can I have headphones?
Does she have headphones? Here we go.
Thank you.
All right, so Megan runs our matrimonial department, and if it's too loud, Kyle has the controls over there.
Okay.
All right? So Megan runs our matrimonial department, and she's in charge of all the divorces in Spar and Bernstein.
So she's going to be doing mine?
She will be doing yours. Squeeze is getting divorced as of today.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they got to decide who's going to move out of the marital residence. As you noticed, he is no longer wearing his ring. His marriage band is off.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and so Squeeze. I don't want to get into the nitty gritty of Squeeze's divorce, but apparently there was no prenuptial agreement that was signed.
Mistake.
Right. They are both exceedingly wealthy people and are going to be battling for every last dime.
To the mattresses?
To the mattresses.
See how stories evolve?
Yes.
See how stories just evolve?
But that's what Megan does, even for people who are not the wealthiest people in the world, like Squeeze. People more like
wealthiest people.
more like
Nowhere
the
near.
regular person. Squeeze is not the regular
I
guy.
am striving to be wealthy.
No, you are wealthy. You are very
Striving.
rich. Okay.
No.
Kim, excuse me. He has a home in Greenwich, drives a Ferrari, has a apartment on the 50th floor overlooking the Statue of Liberty in downtown Manhattan. And he's not a rich man.
You're definitely
Don't let the
not a
image fool you.
pleb.
He's not a rich man.
He's definitely not a pleb.
Don't let the image fool you.
He's not a rich man.
Don't let the image fool you.
Megan, as a divorce attorney, would you be saying to yourself, this guy is hiding money somewhere?
Yes.
You would, right?
Especially if he's claiming poverty.
Right. He's claiming poverty in this divorce right now.
Megan goes into his apartment and just starts flipping over
Right.
mattresses. I will find it.
Yeah,
What is that safe?
Looking
Yes.
behind paintings.
You should
Right.
always maintain a mattress account. You should always maintain one.
All right. So what's going on in the Spar and Bernstein matrimonial department? And by the way, if you have any questions on family law, we always like to change gears a little bit here. For those who are watching for the first time, we always like to change gears a little bit and talk about other areas of law that Spar and Bernstein handles, such as family law and matrimonial law and divorce law. Megan runs that department. She does a fantastic job.
I'm sorry.
What?
The duct tape in the background is killing me.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I can't
Live
do it anymore.
entertainment.
Spielberg Jr. sat under the duct tape the entire show and did nothing about it.
Well, it only shows on Squeeze's thing.
I was just about to say, it doesn't even show on ours.
Spielberg, can we rip that down?
Well, we will be ripping it down because this afternoon starts the construction of the new studio. Did you see about 70 boxes in Lenny's office?
I saw the 2 boxes an hour.
Yes.
I was
So,
like, what are you doing in here?
so any event, what is going on in the matrimonial department?
We've been very busy, but one of the things that I want to always talk about when I'm on here, especially with everything with DACA, is SIDGE cases.
Yes, I think that is really
I think
important.
it's
Thank
very
you.
relevant.
Yes.
With everything that's going on.
Every child who is a DACA recipient, actually, I didn't discuss SIDGE and DACA in the same sentence.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you thought about that.
Yeah.
SIDGE, Special Immigrant Juveniles, it potentially can be obtained by any child under the age of 21 living in the United States. It could be obtained by children under 21, potentially, not everyone would qualify,
Right.
potentially by any child under 21 who was part of DACA squeeze, and it could potentially also for children under 21 who are not part of DACA. I read that there's over 1 million DACA recipients. Many of them, I don't know how many, are under 21. Some are over 21,
Right.
who are going to have their documents rescinded by that, I always call him the little orange man in the White House, but he's a big dude, but I guess he's a little guy at heart.
He is.
Okay, the little man, orange guy in the White House is going to rescind, make many children and young adults deportable. SIDGE, unfortunately, does not apply to young adults, but it certainly may apply to many, many children under the age of 21. And what's good about SIDGE, and I'm going to let Megan discuss it a little more, but what's good about SIDGE is that ultimately, if you qualify, you get a green card, and you are done for life, versus DACA was a temporary work permit.
Right. Yeah, no, SIDGE is a great option.
All right, so why don't you discuss it?
Sure. Any child under the age of 21 who is unmarried, does not have any of their own children, and has been abused, abandoned, or neglected by one parent, and it would not be in their best interest to return to their home country, can qualify for SIDGE status.
And there's a lot of people like that out there.
There is.
Tons.
I think a lot of people don't know about the program, and so it's not,
And
every person that comes into the office is for it lately has been because of us talking about it on the radio show.
And it's a very, I don't want to say it's a simple process. It's not a process that you can do yourself.
No.
Because you have to be able to prove that, it is not in the child's best interest to be reunited with at least one biological parent. So the other biological parent can do this?
Yeah, you could be living with that parent and they can petition.
Right, as long as you're not living in a 2 biological parent household.
Correct.
Or it could be some other person who is not a biological parent can do this.
Right.
As long as you are not living in a household with both biological parents, and you can show it is not in your best interest to be reunited with at least one biological parent
Right.
because of abuse, neglect, abandonment. What are the other, what did I
That's
hit?
really it.
Those
Yeah.
are the 3.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought there was a 4th, but those are the 3.
Those are the 3
Abuse,
main, yeah.
neglect, abandonment. It's not in the child's best interest. Somebody goes in, gets their guardianship of this child, gets a judge to say this child should not go back to at least one biological parent because of abuse, neglect, abandonment. Now, that may not apply to everybody, but it applies to many.
Right.
And if it applies to a child that you know, whether it's a child that lives in your household or a child that you would be willing to accept at your household and be their legal guardian, this is the way to go. This is the way you beat Donald Trump.
Exactly.
You beat him at his own game because, you took away my work permit, but I got my green card.
Exactly.
And
It's a
how
great program.
and how is the family law process work, at least in New York, in terms of, because that's
Sure.
what you would be.
Yeah, so I'd be handling the family court side. I mean, family
Right.
court is very pro-children, so it's not adversarial. It's a easy process in that sense. The judges are friendly and receptive to these cases. We basically go in, it's within a couple of months. We have a final order of guardianship, and then we have a final order of special findings that outlines that this child qualifies for the SIDG status in immigration court.
And so in New York, would you say how long would it take from the time that, you know, people start with our firm to the time that something gets filed in court to the time that you become the legal guardian of a child?
I mean, depending on the county, but you can get guardianship on the first or second court appearance. For the whole thing to be finished, maybe 4 months.
4 months. So
Yeah.
it's pretty fast.
It's very fast, yeah.
So basically, you can have a full guardianship done before March of 2000, March 5th, 2018, which will be the end of
Yeah,
DACA.
exactly.
And then they would come to me,
Yes.
and we would file an adjustment application for that child, and that
Yeah.
child would get a green card 6 months later. So in under a year, that child is a
Yeah.
lawful resident of the United States.
And so if you're 20 years old and you're concerned, you know, you have to be under 21, come in because we have to finish our family court side. As long as we file the immigration application before you're 21.
Correct.
It's
That is
fine.
that is the key thing. We
I
have
think
to have
people
the
should just
full
reach out to you guys.
full guardianship and an application filed before your 21st birthday.
And this
we
is not
have a-
something you want to do by yourself either.
No, because
No, because you screw it
you
up.
have to do a hearing in
yeah.
family court.
Right.
It has
It's-
to
it's
be
a court hearing.
sufficient
It's a
because
court hearing.
Yeah, immigration will look at it. So
Candy says she has a foster child who's on DACA. Does that apply to her as well?
Absolutely, she should
Yeah.
be. She should be absolutely doing it.
yeah,
There you go. A lot of people really don't know.
Yeah.
I say anyone out there, anything that has to do with children or children being out
And-
of status,
and-
just call to find out more about it.
And I'll say this.
Yeah.
You can qualify for SIDG. It doesn't have to be through this guardianship. If the child is qualified for long-term foster care,
right.
then we don't even have to go through the guardianship.
Right.
That child is a special immigrant juvenile and should be filing that adjustment immediately.
Exactly.
If it's a short-term foster care situation, then you would
Right.
have to go through the
It's a quick-
guardianship.
yeah, yeah.
Right. But if the child has been taken away basically for life from the
Right.
parents,
If they're going to being in foster care until they age out.
right?
Then they
then they don't have. You don't have
skip my
right. You
portion and
skip
go
right.
straight,
Go
yeah.
right to immigration.
Yeah.
Correct.
1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465.
The line squeeze are very quiet today
I wonder why.
because people in Florida are hunkered down.
Right.
People in the Caribbean can't reach their family members.
Yeah, the focus right now is all about Irma and
Yeah.
what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Where is it exactly, Kim?
It just passed.
You may want to turn your microphone on.
Yes, I do. It just passed Puerto Rico this morning as of 7:43 a.m. this
What
morning.
did she do in Puerto Rico?
It was right off the coast of Haiti.
So,
Yeah.
So
not
we
much
d- it was
damages
it,
in Puerto Rico?
It was not, Puerto Rico wasn't directly in its path, so
Okay.
I haven't seen any damage reports come from Puerto Rico yet, although I'm sure there is some. But yeah, it is expected to be a Category 4 by the time it reaches Florida, so
Yeah.
it's still a Category 5 right now.
All right. And it says here, at least in the New York Times, that the storm made a direct hit on Barbuda,
Yeah.
St. Bart's, St. Martin, Anguilla, and the British Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico, with hurricane-force winds and torrential rain, obviously. The Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda said Irma had destroyed 95% of the structures on Barbuda, an island inhabited by 1,600 people that is now essentially underwater.
Yeah, they said at least 90% of it is,
Is
and
underwater.
it's
How are you
unaccounted for because
supposed
there's not
to-
a lot of communication, obviously.
There is at least one person who has been killed in Antigua that they know about, one in Anguilla that they know about, and 8 in St. Bart's that they are aware of. And somebody died in Puerto Rico preparing for the storm, I guess getting up on their roof.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's crazy.
yeah. It says here, this is where I read it, the French Interior Minister Gerard Collomb said the 4 sturdiest buildings on St. Martin had been destroyed, which means that in all likelihood the more rustic buildings are probably totally destroyed as well. But all the phone lines are down squeezed, so nobody knows yet. So we pray for them.
Yeah.
We literally pray for them. Pray for everybody get through safely.
It's nuts, man.
Nuts. Crazy. Why do you think this is happening?
There's this thing called global warming, but
Yeah.
our president doesn't feel.
About more, and apparently more than 50% of the American voters don't feel it's happening either.
Which is just,
Yeah, sad.
it's science. So
Yes, right.
This
And-
just.
What I think is crazy is that those people really like to make their opinions known during natural disasters. Like I've seen it so much on Facebook lately and Twitter of people of the climate change deniers coming out like,
yeah,
read the news, folks. It does not take much.
yeah,
You know, when you have to go and protest in favor of science,
exactly.
I
That's
think
the problem.
when we have to raise banners and say, we're going to protest in favor of science,
Yeah,
then geez, what is the world coming to? That's why we have this.
exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, Squeeze, why don't you give the number?
Thank you so much. Once again, folks, pardon me. All right. Once again, folks, make sure you reach out to us. The number here is 1-800-529-5465. Thanks to each and every one for tuning in. Don't forget to share. All right. Share on your social media platforms. All right. Whether it's Facebook, YouTube, make sure you do that. David Squeeze Annakie, law offices of Spar Bernstein, and also, of course, Brad Bernstein and YouTube, Spar Bernstein. 1-800-529-5465. That's the number to call right now to get your immigration questions answered. 1-800-529-5465. Or if you've got a family law question, make sure you reach out. Maybe you're going through a divorce. Okay. Maybe you're getting married. You need a prenup. Maybe you have a child support issue.
You're going through a divorce. Apparently, I'm not getting married. Kyle broke up with his girlfriend.
Got a new one.
Kim says it's single September.
She's very happy with it.
Spielberg Jr., I don't know anybody who would date him, so I know he's... no, I'm only kidding. I know he has a girlfriend.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he has a
Poor
girlfriend.
girlfriend.
He has a girlfriend.
Although she questions her decision every day.
Oh, you do?
surely.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He doesn't even have a mic to defend himself. That's not nice.
Right. The only good thing about Spielberg is they don't need to hire a photographer for the wedding.
Here's what Nicola Jackson says. I have been hearing about this studio since Squeeze's engagement. now he's divorced and still no studio.
Kyle, your set is off tomorrow. Nicola will be performing tomorrow. I'm sorry. I just got the email from the comedy
Just got bumped.
seller. Yes.
Everybody's a comedian.
All right. So, but by the way, to contact Megan, which is really the most important thing, is the same telephone number as to get on the radio, which is 1-800-529-5465. If you know a child, this is all serious.
Yeah.
You know a child who's under 21, DACA or no DACA, especially DACA. Donald Trump's coming to deport these children. And there's a way to beat Trump.
Yeah.
For many, not all, but for many. The Sidge case, which we talked about, and it starts with speaking to Megan. 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. Call Megan after the show or call her now. She'll be happy to speak with you on the air or off the air. All right, Squeeze. This show, by the way, Squeeze.
Sorry, it's not powered by Tom Ford, and I'm looking at his stuff. But anyway,
Why are you looking at Tom Ford?
Fashion.
Because he can afford it.
Because he's
He
a rich
can
man.
afford- He's a rich
Exactly.
man, obviously, right?
He can afford it.
Yes. Everybody else is on
I'm
the.
looking at Steve Harvey.
Yeah. Everybody else is on the Target website, and
Exactly.
Squeeze is I'm looking at Tom Ford.
hey, listen.
Target has some
The
cute
operative
stuff
word,
like that.
operative word, looking.
Looking.
Right?
Yes.
Looking.
No. But what Squeeze is not finishing his sentence. Looking to buy.
No. I'm just
Looking to buy. All right. So anyway, this is brought to you by USA Credit Repair, and Squeeze can look and he can buy because Squeeze's credit's good.
Yes.
But there's many people who can look and can't buy Squeeze. They could say bye-bye to Tom Ford, but they can't buy Tom Ford because they have terrible credit. Terrible credit is under 700. I have seen people embarrassed in front of me at the store. I was at the Duane Reade yesterday.
And what happened?
And the guy had like 6 or 7 things in his wagon, and he came up and he took out his credit card, and they said, sorry, declined. He goes, ooh, I didn't realize.
Sure, he didn't
Right, he didn't
realize.
realize. And then he took out another one, and that one was declined too.
Sure, he didn't realize.
And he is sweating. It's disgusting what's going on. I mean, he's sweating down his, I feel so bad for the guy. And he takes out the last one, declined. And he goes, I don't know what happened. I mean, they all see it worked. It's crazy.
Sure, you don't know what happened.
And then he reached into his pocket and he had $5. That's it?
That's it?
That's all he had on him. So he...
And you didn't do anything to help the guy, Brad?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Relax.
Relax.
It's got a happy ending, Squeeze.
It's got a happy ending. You don't let me finish. Okay, so the guy feels bad. All right, he's got his waters, his beers, his chips.
That's what he's buying.
That's what he's buying. Okay, with his bad credit. and he's there, and I'm like sitting there behind him. I'm at the Duane Reade. It's like 9 o'clock at night. It's not like I'm going to the drugstore. I needed water in my own apartment because I wake up in the middle of the night. I get thirsty. I had no water, so I went to buy a couple of bottles of Poland Spring.
You sure? That's what you went to buy?
Well, I wasn't at the pharmacist. It's closed. So what would I be getting there? Right?
I don't know.
Okay. So any event, there could have been many things, right? So any event, I paid for the guy's water and his chips, and I couldn't buy his beer for him. Okay, but I said, don't worry, I got it, and so it was like $20-$30. But point is it's embarrassing, and you don't always have Brad Bernstein behind you to get you out of these situations. But what you do have is
good to have him, though.
But what you do have is USA Credit behind you. USA Credit can get you out of those situations because they will be behind you at every store you go to use your credit card because your credit score is going to go up within 90 days. And they are giving you a 30-day free.
Absolutely free.
Absolutely free.
30 days.
Free credit repair. And you get to test it out.
Yep.
And then they guarantee you after 90 days that your credit's up. What do you got to lose? If your credit's below 700, you should call them right now. And the telephone number to call USA Credit Repair is 1-800.
Almost gave your number.
1-800.
872-7177.
That's 1-800-872-7177. 1-800-872-7177 is the number to call. 1-800-872-7177. Call USA Credit Repair right now. 1-800-872-7177. 1-800-872-7177. That's USA Credit Repair. Here for you today, there for you tomorrow. The key to beautiful credit, USA Credit Repair. I think if I bang the table, what's ringing?
What's that? Yeah.
I don't
You
know.
hear that ringing?
That's just you. Yeah.
Your ears after you keep banging the table?
Maybe. I want to break the table now because we're having a new studio.
Ooh, we could have like a studio demolishing day.
A bonfire.
Ooh, that'd
studio
be fun.
bonfire and light the whole building on fire.
In the office.
In the office.
Yeah,
That's where you all plan to do that, so I'm not here that day.
All right.
Very safe.
All right, so there it is.
All right, so are we going to answer any more immigration questions, or are we going to go to rapid fire?
Rapid fire.
All right. Candy wants to know. She's been asking a question since last week, apparently.
Good job, SMG.
She has 3 tickets that Babylon gave her, and she wants to know, can you guys help her with the speeding tickets?
3 tickets that Babylon gave her. You understand that, right? You know what Babylon is, right? Cops. That's what it is.
We don't really do speeding tickets, but obviously, it's not our bag, so to speak, speeding tickets. But if you come to us and you want to hire us, we'll see what we can do. But it's not really our wheelhouse.
All right, here's one. My priority date is May 7th. How much longer do I have to wait?
Who sponsored you?
Who sponsored you, Dion?
Yes.
All right.
SMG?
I've been here since I was 6 years old, married and have 4 children, born here, disabled, married for 9 years. How do I get help for dual citizenship?
If you have a green card, you file your citizenship, you become a citizen, and as long as you're from a country that recognizes dual citizenship, you are a dual citizen.
Hi, Squeeze. What happened to your flour recipes? I was cooking the other day.
Yes, I saw.
Yeah. I was cooking stew peas.
Hey.
That's before but that's before I was going through a divorce.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe I just didn't cook it good enough.
You know what happened when Squeeze was cooking?
What?
You know what he'd failed to do
What,
while he was cooking?
Roll my sleeves up?
No, call me to eat his food. I mean, I didn't get a call. Did you get a call?
Are you alive?
No. I am alive.
Okay.
Yes.
No.
All right, what other questions? Let's do rapid fire.
Yeah.
My husband got his 2-year green card in March and April. He called the police on me and moved out. What's going to happen to him now that I found out he has a girlfriend?
Well, if he can prove it's a real marriage and he gets divorced, he's going to get his permanent green card.
Dion says it's her mom that sponsored her.
And it's May of 2012. She has about
2015.
Oh, 2015. She's got about 4 or 5 years to go.
Okay.
I send in to remove the condition for my 2-year green card, but the extension letter is going to be expired next month. I got my letter is going to be
Go to
expired.
USCIS, make an InfoPass appointment, get a stamp in your passport to extend your stay.
Okay. How long does it take for them to review your documents to get an appointment date?
For what?
For what, Suzanne?
It's day 100, and still I haven't received my EAD. I did get an RFE on day 80 for the I-485, and now my case status has changed and ready for the interview. Any hopes on getting my EAD card?
Yes, in about another 80 days, because you only responded to the RFE 20 days ago, so you got to count another 100 days from then.
If you don't submit your medical report with your initial application, will it delay your work permit?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a U.S. citizen and want to petition for my parents. My aunt tried to adopt me to get a green card, but it didn't push through, but she had some sort of guardianship. I got my green card from my husband. Any advice?
You're still the child of your parent. You're fine.
Yeah, back to Suzanne Jefferson. She said it's for an immigrant visa. How long does it take for them to review your documents to get an appointment date? She says it's for an immigrant visa.
For what?
Yeah.
For what?
Is
Who's
it a-
sponsoring
yeah.
you? Where are you at? Who's reviewing what?
Yeah, specific.
I
You
don't
got to be
know.
more specific.
Yes.
I think I don't know, maybe she means a visitor's visa?
I don't know what she means.
I got a conditional green card through my husband. Every day he argues and makes threats. He tried to throw me out the apartment. I had to call the cops, and he told them I married him for a green card every time. We have a disagreement. What can I do?
You have a green card right now? Does she have a green card?
Yeah, a conditional green card.
Okay, so move out of the apartment, get a divorce, prove it's a real marriage.
And we've got Megan here that can help with the
That's
divorce.
right. Absolutely.
Okay.
You don't
So-
have to stay in an unhappy
No.
marriage to get your green card.
No.
So if your parents file for you and some call the immigration to come for you, will they come?
Unlikely.
All right,
That's it?
that's it.
All right, that's it for me on this side also with 2.5 minutes to go right here on the
All right,
Brad and Squeeze Show.
try
Let's go back to
try
the phone line.
Chevigny, you have about a minute.
Stephanie.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Did I butcher your name? I'm sorry. Siobhan?
Siobhan.
Siobhan.
Yeah,
Okay, not
Siobhan.
Chevigny.
Siobhan.
All right.
Siobhan.
That's much prettier. Okay.
Way off.
Yes. All right. What's going on? Yeah. Chevigny. I'm like, what kind of name is Chevigny? I'm saying to myself, Siobhan, that's a pretty name. Okay. All right. What's going on?
Hi, Brad. I did my son's DACA 2-year form, and I renewed it. It's valid until 2019. He has a priority date of June 2006. How soon can we adjust status?
Who has the priority date of June 2006, you said?
My son. He also has a priority date of June 2006.
Who sponsored him?
My mother sponsored me under F3.
Ah, okay. You have about a year to go.
Another year?
Yeah.
So he will be okay under the DACA until 2019.
How old is he now?
He is 17.
17? Yes, he'll be fine.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right, Suzanne is saying that in reference to the paper, it says the affidavit and all the documents went into NVC. Just wanted to know the time frame for them to review.
3 months.
3 months?
Yes.
Okay. And can a green card holder file for a child?
Yes. Anything else, Squeeze?
No, that's it for now.
Megan, anything else?
No.
Yeah,
Except
one
your
more
tan
thing.
looks nice.
My tan,
Yeah,
thank you.
you
Do you like
look-
the beard?
I do.
Yeah? I'm
yeah.
debating whether to shave it or not.
Oh, I like it.
You like it?
Yeah.
It's very funny. Most women are liking it.
Beards are popular right
Beards
Most
are popular.
women.
Yeah.
Most women.
He's doing a
Although
poll.
Kim,
Yeah, most women.
Kim has been in the minority. and
I know
said
something,
no.
though.
I'm on the fence.
Since
I
you
said
started
no.
growing your
On the
beard,
fence.
certain things went downhill.
Went way downhill.
Yep.
Maybe I need to change it up. We got to
True,
get out of here.
that's true.
The proceeding was informational only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein Law Firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800 1-800-529-5465. Easily remembered, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LawLink. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LawLink. That's 1-800-529-5465.
Yeah, you do.
I used to do that.
You may want to hit the mute button over there.
Yeah, forgot all about it.